Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be the daily message for March the 20th. Keep in mind, this is a general collective daily message. This may or may not resonate for your personal situation, so please only take with you the messages that resonate and leave behind the rest. This is also not sign specific, but I will call out any zodiac signs that I do feel need mentioning throughout the reading. Let's quickly talk about the energies. Happy spring equinox, everybody. So, you know, the moon just shifted out of Libra. The moon is in Scorpio. The energy is feeling very intense with all of this fiery, passionate Aries energy coming forward. So I feel, you know, the last couple of days after shifting out of that Virgo full moon, we had the moon go into Libra. So there's been like this very powerful cosmic rebalancing. And with the moon now in Scorpio, I feel many of us are being asked to dive deep into our emotions. And I feel there's a lot of issues coming up when it comes to your social structure within your group setting. You know, when I think of Aries, I think of Mars, masculine energy, leadership energy. A lot of energy, like a lot of vibrant energy came through this morning. And I feel many of us are finding our fighting spirit when it comes to stepping into our own leadership skills, kind of like being the leader of our life. So, you know, happy birthday to all of my Aries collective out there. I think a lot of decisions are being made when it comes to any karmic situations that have been needing to be addressed recently. And I feel if you've lacked that deliberation, I think get ready to make that final decision in the energies. I think the energy really is asking us to find our motivation to step forward and be that team player for the collective. I feel the energy really is encouraging optimism and loyalty when it comes to group orientation, especially with the sun in the 11th house when it entered into Aries, and the 11th house in Pisces. So, you know, when I think of the 11th house, it's all about the house of friendship, collective group setting, our hopes, our aspirations that are kind of associated within the community. So a lot of activism and changes when it comes to our social settings. So, you know, with the 11th house ruled by Aquarius, and Aquarius and Pisces are so very close together, and you know, with the 11th house also ruled by the planet Uranus, I think get ready for major relationship shakeups, especially on a wider scale. Because if you think of the opposite of the 11th house is the 7th house, which is all about one-on-one personal relationships. And the 7th house also is going to show us where we have codependency issues. So I think get ready for, you know, the energy to indicate where your social life has lacked that collaboration and what it is that you need to do when it comes to relations with others if you've not found that camaraderie within your own social group setting. So I feel there's this appetite energy coming through when it comes to acceptance and your desire to kind of put yourself out there, to be more engaging. And, you know, as everything kind of opens up, I know where I'm at located in Canada, everything is kind of opening up. All of the mandates have been lifted, and I feel this is a huge indicator of progression. So I think get ready to be receptive when it comes to your own mission within the spiritual community. We also have Chiron in the 11th house. So that's that core wounding of feeling like, hey, I've never really belonged anywhere. So, you know, many of us on the spiritual journey were outcast as children. We've always felt a little bit different, like we never really quite fit in, and it's because we are so unusually gifted. And so I feel some of us have a very difficult time relating to others. And this is where we kind of struggle with that personal identity issue, which I already talked about in my previous video today. Go check it out. So, you know, Chiron in the 11th house is going to kind of illuminate with the sun energy where we have some past traumas that really have kind of shut us down emotionally. And this really does make it hard to have those emotional connections with others. So I think it's kind of time to deal with these childhood issues once and for all. And I think get ready for some trauma memory to kind of be triggered in the energy when it comes to any feelings of numbness and your inability to have that deep emotional connection with others. So I think a lot of manifestations are coming forward when it comes to dissatisfying relationships where, you know, we have cycled round and round and recreated this childhood trauma within our romantic relationships. And, you know, we unintentionally do this. We unintentionally emit certain energy signals out there when it comes to our behaviors. And this is how we, you know, unadmittedly attract these psychopathic sharks into our energy field, especially when it comes to the dating pool. So I think get ready. If your goal is to have a healthy love relationship, get ready to have energy highlighted today when it comes to you repeating these past traumas and negative relationship cycles. You know, I think this energy is coming forward like moths to a flame. And many of us on the spiritual journey are empaths. And what happens is we attract abusive partners over and over again because of this childhood pattern. So I think get ready for some arguments and some restaging in the energy when it comes to karmic contracts. You know, you can hope and pray for a different outcome. But bottom line is we are here to cut these negative attachments. Many of us, you know, we'll have an abusive mother or an abusive father, and then we end up attracting a verbally abusive spouse, depending on where that parental wound is at for your own journey. So, you know, we can attempt to repave over this old trauma as many times as we want, but I think, you know, we're kind of all being asked as a collective to correct this deep psychic wound once and for all, to understand the underlying psychological drive when it comes to the result of picking someone that almost always leads to this negative trauma bond. So if we're to step into our own personal greater wholeness and emotional well-being, I think it's kind of time to get rigorously honest when it comes to these past relationship traumas that keep playing out over and over again in order for us to resolve this once and for all. So we have to, you know, be willing to go into that wound so we stop reliving this cycle over and over again. So I think get ready to set some very firm and healthy boundaries in the energies today if we are to really embrace these changes when it comes to these relationship patterns. You know, we are meant to be open and emotionally vulnerable. And, you know, when we have those healthy boundaries, then we can really take that step back and figure out, hey, is this worth emotionally investing in? Or is this going to be another repeat of this negative behavior that I really don't want to keep bringing into my energy field? So I think get ready to be tested when it comes to any karmic partners. And do be prepared for some violent outburst when it comes to these boundaries. You might have to push somebody away in the energies today if they're not going to be respectful of your own personal boundaries. But let's jump in with some cards, guys, and see what else needs to come through. Intuition. So we all have our gut intuition when it comes to something. So, you know, if you have a gut feeling about something, then you're really going to need to trust that, because your higher self is trying to say, hey, I know what's best for you, and maybe this situation isn't healthy. So get ready for like a rediscovery, to peel back some layers when it comes to a person or a situation that you've been connected with in order to discover something you have not known before. So I think get ready for the veil of illusion to be lifted when it comes to a soul connection. And we have many, many soul connections. And I feel whatever's going on here, this person has played a significant role as part of your evolution. And I do think these short-term contracts are coming to a close so we can finally manifest those long-term committed partnerships with healthy boundaries for our soul's journey. So let's jump in, guys, and see what else needs to come through in the energies. Somebody's been ignoring their intuition is kind of what I'm feeling. And you might want to go within and spend that quiet time in solitude in order to connect with your higher self, to dismiss any lower ego desires in order to step into a place of compassion. And, you know, we step into a place of compassion by experiencing humility sometimes. And when we go through these major shifts during our human experience, this is what brings us to that moment of self-actualization. And that's what this Aries energy is all about, that self-identity energy. So you might need to disconnect from some chaos, some conflict, in order to go through some healing and rejuvenation. I think it's kind of time to be open to receiving some clarity of truth, especially when it comes to any karmic situations. I think there's this new outlook coming through. Spring is like this rebirth, this new beautiful revitalization. Everything is starting to grow again after a very long, daunting winter. So I think you might want to just disconnect from the collective energy and really examine your current situation at face value in order to see things from that higher perspective. I think you are involved in a situation that is helping you evolve. Maybe you are helping another evolve as well, but I think get ready to learn a major lesson as part of this human experience to get you on the pathway to reach your fullest potential. So I think get ready to understand a relationship pattern at the core in order for you to find your strength and to use this lesson to your advantage when it comes to seeking, you know, more knowledge for your own personal journey. I think somebody here has, you know, this very strong curiosity to find that deeper meaning in their life. And we do that by quieting the mind, going within, and allowing these energies to flow through us, because we've all been sensing and feeling this collective shift for quite some time. And I think all of this stuff is coming to the surface to be addressed in the energies today, especially when it comes to some past regrets. So, you know, it's almost like they're showing me that 12-step program. And when I read, you know, astrology charts, the housing side of the chart, I always call that, you know, Archangel Michael's 12 steps to ascension. So I think somebody's been sitting in some pride and some ego here, sitting with a lot of regret from some past action. And I think get ready for some accusations. Get ready for somebody to point the finger at you when it comes to an ending that is needing to come to a close. So definitely divorce proceedings, or at least a major ending coming to completion. I do think accusations, because somebody here has been withholding some truth is what I feel, especially when it comes to some past regrets. Somebody's definitely been sitting in some pride and some ego, and I think get ready for some big changes, because I do feel it's kind of time to regain control of your life and to embrace this renewal process. We are in, you know, the beginning stages of this great awakening. And, you know, we can't step into our highest potential holding on to this pride and this ego. You know, not a lot of people are willing to be vulnerable to bring forward an apology. But I think somebody's been spiraling out of control when it does come to maybe withholding some truth, when it comes to some past regret. And I think maybe it's time to bring this to the surface in order to renew your energy and maybe to revive a situation from the past. But I think get ready for somebody to accuse you in the energy, especially if you're closing out a major relationship cycle, because it's kind of time to eclipse these energies out of our life once and for all. Somebody here is deep within the void, and that's funny. I talked about humility. So in order to shed that arrogance and to release that pride and that egoic arrogance, you know, we kind of have to accept that we are all created equal in the eyes of God. And maybe somebody here has, you know, has this feeling of, hey, something's really missing inside. So what do you need to seek in order to fill that void? Because nothing outside of you can ever fill that void. So I think somebody has definitely been feeling enslaved within a karmic contract. And we always have the choice to take action in a new direction in order to step into freedom. So whether you know, unwittingly entered into this circumstance, either way, somebody I feel is at the mercy of another, trying to release feelings of inadequacy and shame, especially from some past experiences. And I do feel somebody here is going through a massive ego death, in deep need of some healing is what I'm feeling. And I feel, you know, there's a lot of envious energy coming through when it comes to perhaps somebody dealing with a karmic witch of some sort. So I kind of feel maybe somebody's been enslaved by some spell casting work or some other dark spiritual arts here. And I feel this has created a lot of misunderstandings when it comes to somebody's path forward. I think get ready to embrace the single life. Somebody here, I think, has really enjoyed a series of casual relationships, and maybe that's what the regret is stemming around. You know, casual relationships just aren't really emotionally satisfying. And you know, many people cycle through these casual relationships, these unconventional relationships for a period of time because they don't know how to emotionally be vulnerable. So I think get ready for somebody to break free from a very devastating and tireless connection here. And I think you might want to control your anger. Aries is very aggressive energy. We are all kind of being called to lead with love if we want that love returned to us. So I think somebody has been wandering in the void for quite some time in this very deep, unsettling energy, this sense of not feeling like they belong anywhere. And I feel maybe it's time to learn this lesson once and for all. I kind of feel somebody is getting ready to step into enlightened existence and to step into spiritual devotion when it comes to their service mission. And in order to do that, you kind of got to release any past shame. Get ready for some karma to be handed out in the energy. What goes around comes around, and somebody has been carrying a burden for a very long time. And I think perhaps today is the day to acknowledge this burden and to release it and to heal it, because somebody is definitely feeling ostracized and outcast in the energy. And perhaps there's a need to venture and travel towards somebody in order to balance out some past regrets. So let's jump in with a couple of soul, oh geez, what is this deck called? Senses of the Soul Oracle messages. So somebody is finally willing to surrender to divine will and to step into shamanism. We are all shamans. We are all healers. We are all vagabonds from past lives. And, you know, I think we're all here to return back home to self, but we do need to release these very heavy karmic burdens. So I kind of feel somebody is definitely supported as they undergo this very profound spiritual transformation in the energies. And perhaps it's time to communicate with your fullest potential as all of this energy is flowing through you, because there's definitely a major DNA activation in the energies, and it's kind of time to release that need to self-sabotage. You know, many of us go into those cycles of self-sabotaging because we don't feel we're worthy. We don't feel we're worthy of unconditional love. So in order to balance out your personal power, you kind of have to open up your heart and to align with your highest purpose, because somebody here is a sage. And I think somebody here has been self-sabotaging, and it's kind of time to clear the pathway forward. So I think get ready to make an unexpected choice in love today with the lovers, because maybe it's time to honor your spiritual mission. And I do believe somebody here is experiencing a moment of humility, really learning to digest their deep emotions and to act on behalf of their own needs. So I think get ready to recognize a negative pattern that is needing to be addressed in the energies in order for you to step into your mission as that wise sage, as that wise leader. So we're going to read into the lover and the sage energy. Beautiful cards coming through today. If I can find it very quickly. Let's find that sage energy. Beautiful, beautiful. There we go. There we go, guys. All right, the sage. So I think a lot of emotional intelligence is being restored within the collective. And this is where you really allow your intuition to kind of guide you forward. So, you know, get ready for a lot of visionary consciousness energy. And I was very blocked in the third eye the last couple of days, a lot of third eye pressure. So I feel a lot of psychic perceptions have been activated within the collective. And this is where we kind of symbolize that energy of balancing the head with the heart. And when we do that, our intellect and our intuition respectively work together in harmony. So we're talking about the sixth chakra here. We're talking about the third eye. And I felt that pressure for the last couple of days. I actually spent most of yesterday afternoon in bed, just resting and meditating from all of the upper chakra pressure. So get ready to embody your spiritual wisdom as you move through all of these negative experiences and learn from these major setbacks and upheavals. So I feel the energy is reminding us all to bridge our intellect with our intuition so we can live according to our soulful and our spiritual needs. And we need to take this time to kind of process any major endings in order to integrate the lesson of this life experience so we can finally begin to cultivate new healthy relationship patterns. So I think get ready to find the meaning of your life when it comes to any negative experiences that are releasing in order for you to step into honoring your spiritual journey. So get ready to flow through a major crisis in the energy in order to step into your co-creative journey with a clear vision. So I think the shadow energy is asking you to really look at this from a place of reason. I think somebody has been playing into a lot of egoic energies here, and this has really created this frantic worry, this frantic rumination when it comes to the guises that everybody is wearing around you. So I think get ready to shed that bolstering ego. Somebody here is shedding some bolsterous ego. You know, you can never avoid going into that fear or uncertainty. We all have to go through that feeling. And I think somebody here is getting very weary of having to have that heart-to-heart talk. I think somebody knows it's time to have that heart-to-heart talk in order to step towards their healing journey. So somebody's been hindering themselves when it comes to, you know, connecting to their own intuition. And I think somebody is learning to drop down from the head into the heart space in order to regain control of their life, because there is without a doubt a lover on your path. And in order to manifest that healthy, unconditional, loving relationship, you're going to have to, you know, step into forgiveness. So, you know, when we honor our own personal defined boundaries, that is when we truly step into honoring love of self. So we are here to allow love to flow through us unconditionally, but we also have to ensure we are receiving equally as much as we are giving, so that this energy can continue to flow effortlessly so we can manifest unlimited abundance in our lives. So when we withhold love or deny love's entry on our heart, then we are only depriving ourselves of immense joy, compassion, and fulfillment. And all of those are our birthrights. So somebody here is being called to love more deeply than ever before. And that does include loving yourself first. So when we choose love over everything else, that is when we are able to put aside our grievances, our judgments, and our pride. And that is when we know we are ready for the next stage of our spiritual evolution. So get ready to open up your heart and to either ask for forgiveness or offer forgiveness to another, because I feel somebody here is deep within the shadows, have been acting from a very self-centered place in their heart, and they've not been living their truth, and they've just been putting on an act with a mask. So, you know, you can pretend you're happy all you want in your exterior world, but somebody deep down has been feeling empty, lonely, bitter, and resentful. And perhaps it's time to realign your head with your heart in order to stop reverting back to these negative patterns and judgments. Intolerance and codependence is always going to feel threatened when your heart is saying, hey, this is not safe for you. So somebody here has definitely got a lot of guilt on their heart when it comes to some past regret. And I think maybe it's time to re-examine your personal situation so you can step into forgiveness in your heart center. And we do that by forgiving ourselves first and foremost. So get ready to tune deep into the heart in order to, you know, release any past regrets. So let's jump in with some tarot. Oh, yep, I'm going to use the Beautiful Creatures deck today. So progress. Perhaps it's time to step into progression. Definitely somebody has recently received an ultimatum when it comes to choosing between two. So let's get this spread out and see what needs to come through in the energies today. Two Swords, Nine of Wands reverse. So somebody's definitely at the crossroads. And I feel there's been confusion when it comes to needing to choose between two. And I think somebody here is definitely losing their stamina, definitely hitting that rock bottom. And there's been a lack of progress. Now that Seven of Pentacles just flipped out in reverse. So somebody's definitely at the crossroads, stuck, stagnant, needing to learn this lesson. I'm hearing Jesus consciousness. And I think it's kind of time to come out of confusion. You know, when we have a choice to make, I always suggest choosing yourself over everybody else. I think somebody's really needing to find their strength to be brave. To be brave, to maybe come forward with an apology. Somebody's definitely had their foot stuck in the wheel. And I think somebody's definitely made a foolish decision here. Because we're dealing with an Empress, and she is the mother of all mothers. The Empress is a creator. And somebody definitely has done something foolish. So this is what we got, guys. We got the Two of Swords, the Nine of Wands reversed, and the Seven of Pentacles reversed. So that to me is also saying somebody here has spent a lot of time on a foundation, and it's not really yielded any growth. The Seven of Pentacles for me is, hey, it's time to pack up and move in a new direction. Something definitely has shifted since that last Virgo full moon. Something definitely has shifted. We have a couple of sevens here, and 7 is the number from heaven, the number of the mystic. So I feel somebody's in this mid-transformation, and I feel somebody's come into a major wake-up call since that Virgo full moon. And there's been like a revelation when it comes to somebody, you know, not wanting to embrace change. There's a King of Cups here, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And that's basically the only other court card I see besides this Empress. So we're likely dealing with a water sign here that definitely made a foolish decision when it comes to this Empress in the past. And I think perhaps an apology is in order. So I think somebody's kind of finding their inventiveness when it comes to maybe taking a risk, taking a leap of faith. Somebody's afraid to take a leap of faith. I think they fear there's not going to be victory. There's not going to be success. We got a masculine King of Cups here that is definitely afraid of embracing these changes. I think maybe it's time to roll the dice and to take that leap of faith. Because I do think there's victory here, but somebody is so afraid of taking that leap of faith because I think in the past, maybe somebody was confused about this Empress, Taurus, Libra energy. There's victory here, but you're going to have to be brave enough to explore taking that chance. I think somebody has been playing into a lot of greed, holding back communication, going through a period of delusion, disillusionment, and somebody here is utterly defeated because I think they've played into a lot of manipulation, self-deception. And I think maybe it's time to, you know, lean into that empathic nature and to step into some mastership. I think somebody here is dealing with a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety when it comes to sending a message and reaching out to this Empress, because this Empress has a lot of inner wisdom. And I think somebody in the past deceived themselves. 777. Get ready for a major wake-up call. It's kind of time to get out of the mind space and into the heart if you are to step into mastery. It's really time to release this confusion. But let's see what this Two of Swords is all about. Because twos are all about choices, partnerships, decisions, crossroads. And I think somebody here is gaining a major shift in perception. I think somebody has come into some truth about some past treachery. Some lying, some cheating, some stealing, some deceiving. Somebody, I think, in the past was an opportunist. And maybe they didn't see this Empress's worth and this Empress's value. But I think somebody is at the crossroads. And I think they want to come forward and, you know, face that final judgment call by this Empress. I think somebody has been hanging on by a thread. I think somebody's been going deep within that rabbit hole in order to shift their perception. Could be dealing with Pisces. but I think somebody's confused about whether or not to come forward and seek a reconciliation, because somebody here is definitely at rock bottom is kind of what I'm feeling. So let's see what this Nine of Wands, Seven of Pentacles reversed is all about. King of Swords, somebody is definitely needing to utilize their logic and their intuition. And I do believe somebody's tapped into some paranormal activities since that Virgo full moon. Somebody's definitely recently gone through a major wake-up call, really needing to use their discernment and their logic when it comes to making a decision. Yep, somebody's definitely doing some investigating here. Digging deep, inspecting a situation, maybe watching you in the background. Definitely this Empress is standing in some very authentic energy, and somebody's definitely been wearing a mask, and I think somebody is getting ready to come forward in that truthful energy, taking off the mask, coming out of concealment. So with the moon, we got the Lovers, the World, and the Habit. So definitely a Tower recently, a crisis, upheaval recently when it comes to some addictive, codependent behaviors. And there's without a doubt a major cycle that came to a close with that Virgo full moon. And somebody has been given an ultimatum, needing to choose between two. And I think there's been a recent ending, and somebody is going through a major repose, dealing with a lot of regret and remorse about a missed opportunity with this Empress, and trying to find their strength and their fortitude to rush in to apologize for a past betrayal is what I'm feeling. Definitely a finality, a final ending, and somebody here has experienced a major loss, a major setback when it comes to, you know, needing to be honest. So yeah, somebody's definitely in the throes of feeling this pain. This Empress likely had to feel this pain when she was rejected, and now something has come full circle. There's definitely a King of Cups here at rock bottom in the heart space, because in the past they were not reliable. They didn't use their intellect. They were thinking with, you know, something other than their head and their heart, I'm thinking. And perhaps it's time to come forward with that truth. I think somebody's recently come into a lot of truth when it comes to a missed opportunity with this Empress. And I think somebody is getting ready to come forward with a solid offer in order to restore a sense of balance. Yeah, they are. We got a masculine here learning a very valuable lesson, going through a major wake-up call when it comes to this rebalancing. But let's see. Let's dig into this Empress a little bit more. The Hermit, 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. Yep. I think get ready for a celebration. There's definitely victory here. There's a masculine going through a major breakdown, learning to be independent. I feel somebody is definitely going within an introspection to learn this lesson when it comes to stepping into servitude, equality, justice, and balance. And somebody is getting ready to come forward with an offer to this Empress because they see this as a legacy. There's definitely a shift in legacy. So I think get ready for a brand new adventure around the corner, because somebody has recently detached from something very toxic. They have consciously released the burden of hardship, and they are getting ready to come back on a quest for unity with this Empress, because somebody here has a lot of regret about the past. There's a lot of memories here. There's a lot of regret. And I think there's been a lot of clarity recently about this rebalancing. So I think get ready for what was not fair and just to be rectified in the energies in order for a spiritual relationship to come together. I think somebody here is experiencing poverty for their lack of a better judgment in the past. But let's get a couple last messages. I think this masculine is so grateful for your energy. They see you as a gift, and they truly see you as their heart's treasure. And I think somebody deeply regrets not going towards you in the past if you are this Empress. So Aries energy, Virgo energy, Libra energy, Taurus, Libra energy. We've pretty much got everybody here. But I do feel somebody here is in deep need of healing from this Empress and needs her deeply. And somebody has recently been thrown out of a very toxic situation in order to be given that chance to do something over again. So what are you going to do differently this time? Because I think it's really time to take off the mask and to step into authenticity. I feel a masculine here that is deep within some heartbreak, processing these emotions as that first step towards healing, and really coming to terms with understanding that partnership really does require compromise, an open mind, and an open heart. So if you're wondering if somebody's going to come forward with an apology, I think the answer is yes. But there's somebody here getting to know themselves first, because they've recently been completely depleted and very dissatisfied in all areas of their life. And I feel they're learning to honor their physical vessel, because they've been keeping some very negative company, and they've really not been taking good care of their health. And I think somebody here is just, you know, learning to pay attention to all of the spiritual cues all around them when it comes to taking action and sending a message, because somebody's recently released themselves from a very toxic and unhealthy situation. They've really been through it with that Nine of Wands in reverse. But I feel coming into this understanding that humility is the gateway for compassion, and somebody is finding their strength and their determination to recover and to adopt that healthy state of mind, freeing themselves from all of these illusions and negative influences, and getting rigorously honest about what is going on, and really understanding that maybe this karmic relationship was never supposed to last, but was there for a reason, to teach them a valuable lesson about dignity and respect, because somebody here has been self-sabotaging. And it's kind of time to learn this lesson, because the divine has stepped in at this point in time, and they're saying it's time to let this go and to go towards loving family structures, to only go towards people that will support you. So get ready to heal the past regret in order to enjoy the present moment and to embrace the future, because this is destined. And this is coming, and it's coming in fast. And if you feel this coming, you're absolutely spot on. So get ready to receive a message. Somebody deeply regrets walking away from you in the past. And that's what I got for a message today, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a twin flame reading with me, please feel free to check out that description box below, guys. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.